Abraham Lincoln, and I'll start with a short story. When Abraham Lincoln was young, he worked in a store as a clerk. And one day, after work, he counted the change, but the amount was incorrect. So he thought over who went to the store today and who got the change that was, even more or less. And he found out that one customer who came to his store often got this less amount than she should have taken. So he went to the woman's house all the way at night, and he gave her back the change. And this represents that Lincoln was really honest. And because of this story, I stand on the side that Lincoln has more positive aspects more than negative ones. So, a short introduction about Lincoln. He was born in February 12, 1809, and he grew up in a poor environment. And his father was a carpenter, and he was an illiterate person, so he didn't know how to read and write. But his mother knew how to read and write, so she taught Lincoln how to read and write. So he had a lot of influence from his mother. And this is not on the PowerPoint, but in the age of 21, he just quit his university and just moved to New Orleans with nothing to just start his new life. So from there, he started to work, like as I said before, he started to work as a clerk, and he did he had many jobs before he became a politician. And at the age of 25, this is the first thing that he did as a politician. He became a lawyer and started politics. And in 1860, he became the 16th president of the United States. And after that, we all know Abraham Lincoln as one of the most honored presidents of the United States. And unfortunately, he was assassinated in April 14th, 1865 by a Southern man, because as Lincoln was standing on the northern side, the person who was against him shot him, so he died in the Ford Theater when he was watching the show. And Lincoln had many achievements, and this can be the proof that why I think Lincoln is a good person and should be honored. And first, he had the Emancipation Proclamation, and this gave power to the African Americans. By the time the slaves were African Americans, and they didn't have any rights, and they were treated really bad. But Abraham Lincoln gave freedom to the slaves so that they can say whatever they want to say and have the fundamental rights as a human. And this can be led to the fact that Abraham Lincoln established the basis of democracy by releasing the slaves. And second thing that he did well is he unified the United States in 1865. And America went through a civil war in 1865, and this is when Abraham Lincoln was a president of the United States. And because of the war, America was divided into South and the North. And in Abraham Lincoln, this made Lincoln he thought he should win the independence war in order to make the United States more stronger as a unified country. He also took care of the citizens after Civil War really well, so he was honored by that too. And there are some controversies why some people, the opponents, think that Abraham Lincoln should not be honored. And first, they have doubts on the Emancipation Proclamation, and they say this was not put into action. He just said it, and that was it. And they say it was just a way to prevent himself from getting disadvantaged in Civil War. And this can be explained as Abraham Lincoln was standing on the northern side, and there was a lot of slaves in the southern side of the United States at the time. So the southern part has almost won the war, and Abraham Lincoln thought, I need to make the public opinion advantages to myself. So he used the fact that there were a lot of slaves in the southern part. So he did the Emancipation Proclamation to get people's good attention, so that he can he can win the war. And the next step is about unifying North and South. And some people say that he was supported by a certain group of rich people, and he used their power in enactment, like making laws and everything. And this is actually, they have a statistics, I don't know, and most part of his votes was from this rich people who supported him. And some people also say he was partially a dictator because there was a record that he arrested the people who were against his will, and he just banned people from saying the things that can harm Lincoln. So he just didn't give people the basic rights to speak out what they want to say. So judgment and conclusion. However, Lincoln is a person to be honored, well, in my opinion, personally, because first, every political proclaims has a certain purpose. So every politicians don't do any proclaims and stuff like out of their warm heart 100%, because everything they do, politicians do, have a certain purpose. So they can get some advantages from the thing they do. So Lincoln is one of the politicians, so he also had to take some advantages from what he did. So this is an obvious political thing. And second, without the assistance it is hard to succeed in the political field. As you know, to succeed as a politician, you have to get a certain support from a certain people. Otherwise, if you just go into the political field by yourself and you don't have anyone who supports you, then you can't get any votes and you can't, make any judges and everything. So Lincoln, as he was a politician as well, he needed some people to support him, and that was the rich people, and it shouldn't be considered as a problem. So conclusively, Lincoln deserves the reputation. That's what I think. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Nice to meet you.